Hey, my name is Bill.
And my name is Danny, and we are
a couple of park hoppers. And we are here at EPCOT for our first visit for the 2021 Taste of EPCOT International Food and Wine Festival. What a mouthful that is.
Presented by Corksicle.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Not a sponsor yet of us, but hey.
Someday, maybe someday.
Shoot us a message.
Yeah.
We love Corksicle.
We
have a couple.
They're
awesome. So we're really excited to be here at EPCOT today to try a bunch of food over in World Showcase. We made a list in our notes app on our phones of things that we want to try, whether it be food, dessert, or drink. And we're going to try a bunch of things today, and we're going to show you guys as we go along on our journey over into Future World.
So just if you guys are watching at home, a couple quick things. Today is Wednesday afternoon. The parks have been very, very busy this week, so we weren't sure if we were going to pop over, but you know, what better thing to do on a day off than go to Disney?
Yeah, absolutely. It is roasty toasty out here today.
It is roasty toasty. It is 2:30 right now. It's 91. It feels like 101. So, I mean.
Oh, it feels like 101 for sure.
We're just braving the heat. It is nice outside. It's not raining, so we're not going to get soaked, luckily. But you know, you have to trade off heat or getting soaked.
Exactly.
But we're so excited to be trying everything. We want to make sure that we hit as many things as we can today.
Until we get full.
Yes.
And the festival's like 4 months long, so we'll come back.
We'll definitely come back. We're not going to hit everything today. It would be impossible for our stomachs and our wallets. But we're going to go ahead and make our way out to World Showcase so we can start trying some delicious food.
What do you say let's hop to it?
So we are here at our first booth at the International Food and Wine Festival, and the first one that we're swinging by is the Flavors from Fire, hosted by the NFL on ESPN. Not a sponsor yet. But we're gonna try today the corned beef corner route. It's smoked corned beef with crispy potatoes, cheese curds, pickled onions, and beer cheese fondue, and that's gonna be $5.50. So out of all of those, we decided to try that one at this booth. So I'm ready to try it. I'm hungry. Are you ready?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Let's do this.
All right, we are here in the shade. The little bit of shade we found over by Flavors from Fire, just to the right of the booth. We're over here in the kids area with the playground and everything, and we're right here on one of the iconic EPCOT trash cans. And we're gonna eat in the shade because it's like 100 million degrees out today.
AKA a table.
And how fitting that our first food and wine item is from Flavors from Fire, because it is fire like hot out today.
It really is.
So for the first thing we're going to try, like Danny said previously, is the corned beef corner route, and you can get one of these festival passports here and any of the entrances, whether it's on the France side or on the parking lot side here at EPCOT. It has all the information you need for food and wine inside. But I'm just going to read it verbatim from this, and we have the corned beef corner route. It is the smoked corned beef with crispy potatoes, cheese curds, pickled onions, and beer cheese fondue. Now, if you want to pan down, Danny, you can show everybody here. This is a pretty hefty serving here. I'm really excited. When I saw them making it in front of us, I thought it was going to be kind of a smaller serving, because this dish has been there in past years, and I don't remember it being this big.
I don't remember either.
So, really excited to try the cheese and the beer cheese and the cheese curds and all the cheese. And the corned beef looks really good, and the chips. So we're gonna give that a whirl right now. All right, this looks really, really good. Really excited to try this.
Me too.
For the second year in a row. I remember it being really, really good last year. So let's dig in. Let's give it a whirl.
Hands already sanitized.
With
Let's go.
the corned beef corner route. You can grab yourself a fork. I'm gonna grab a little bit of corned beef here. And we're gonna grab a chip and a cheese curd, because that's what you do. When you try food, you should try it as intended by the chefs. So it's a little bit of a messy dish, a lot of melty, like beer cheese fondue. So let's give it a whirl. So I turned away because it's really embarrassing to have beer cheese all over your face.
I did not. I hope you enjoyed.
Okay, but so far, really, really good. The corned beef is warm. It's not hot. I would prefer it to be a little bit hotter, but the beer cheese mixed with the corned beef. It has a nice salty taste to it, and that's exactly what you want from a corned beef dish.
The corned beef is just falling apart. So
Yeah.
if you look at this, it's just all like, it's so easy to pull apart. It's like Bill said, it's exactly what you want from a corned beef dish.
Now, if you were to give this a ranking from 1 through 10, what would you give it?
I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I would
But
say.
is it perfect?
I would say like an 8.5 out of 10 for
Okay.
the temperature.
Sure.
But also, I don't mind that it's not as hot because it's so hot out outside.
Yeah, I mean, well, the corned beef is meant to be served hot, not necessarily lukewarm. So for that, I'll take a point or so off. So I'm going to go with a solid 8 for the corned beef corner out here at Flavors from Fire, presented by the NFL on ESPN.
Yes, and so far, if you come to Food and Wine, this is a must try.
For sure, and it's located right over by Test Track, right up next to the donut box as well, which we're going to try at some point during the festival. Probably not today because it's so hot and nobody wants to eat donuts when it's this hot out. But solid 8 out of 10 from me, 8.5 out of 10 from Danny for the corned beef corner out from Flavors from Fire. And let's move on to our next dish.
So our second stop today is going to be at the EPCOT Experience. It's going to be at the Brew Wing booth. And we're going to get in the shade and try some delicious wings. So we're going to be trying the garlic parmesan wings. And then I would like to try the traditional buffalo wings.
I'm not a huge fan of hot sauce, but I'll give it a whirl.
Yeah. And maybe we'll try the others. We also really, really want to try some of the beers here. So the roasted pumpkin, the apple lantern roasted pumpkin beer, and the watermelon dragon fruit, we really want to try. But because of the heat today, we're going to pass until maybe we can come at night, and it's just not the right day for beers, unfortunately.
And again, the festival runs until November.
Yeah.
So maybe when it's cooler out, we can come have a bunch of beers.
We definitely will do that. But for today, we're just going to try some delicious food, and we're going to start with the garlic parmesan and the traditional buffalo.
All right, so here we are inside Brew Wing, which is inside the EPCOT Experience building, or the former Odyssey building. And like Danny said in the intro to this part here, we've got 2 sets of wings. We're not going to do any alcohol today because it's really warm, as you can see from
Too
my
hot for
bright
alcohol
red
today.
face. But we're going to try 2 different wings, one of my favorite flavors and one of Danny's favorite flavors. I love garlic parmesan. Everything garlic parmesan to me is delicious. If you've never had the Buffalo Wild Wings garlic parmesan sauce you can buy in stores, thumbs up.
Super delicious.
So I got an order of garlic parmesan wings, and Danny got the traditional buffalo wings. And I am not a huge fan of buffalo, especially if there's no blue cheese or ranch to dip it in, which they do not offer here.
Which I didn't realize that was going to be an option. I've always eaten my wings with ranch, so I know you like blue cheese. I don't like blue cheese. I'm a ranch girl. But so it's super weird to eat them without ranch, and so, but we're gonna go ahead and give it a go. So, we have a little correction. While we were just filming that a minute ago, I looked over and I noticed that somebody else had ranch.
I know, some misinformation by the cast member up there. Shame on you. No, just kidding.
Oh, it's okay.
It's
know
all
how
good.
you
We
guys
don't
were.
care. It's all good.
And maybe they were out of it. They said that they may have been out of it at the other booth. So they did have ranch, and they also have blue cheese.
The better sauce for wings.
So they do have both of these. Luckily, I thought it was kind of weird to just
have wings.
Yeah, I mean,
and no
like,
sauce.
I would have eaten them, but
yeah,
I would have
definitely
wrong.
eaten the garlic parm wings. No problem with no sauce, but
So if they say that they don't have it, there are 2 booths. Maybe ask them to check with the other booth, or run over to the other booth and see if they have it to get your sauce of choice.
So because they don't come in cups, they come in these Ken's packet thingies. We're gonna pour some blue cheese and some ranch into our little plates here, and then we're gonna continue this wing-a-thon. All right, so we decided we're gonna try the same flavor at the same time.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna dig into the garlic parmesan wing first. They're a little bit smaller. I believe it comes with 5 on my plate here, and it looks like you've got 5 buffalo wings on yours as well.
Yeah.
So decent serving. It's $7.50. So it's a little bit pricey for 5 wings, but
Wings are always pricey though, so
yeah.
depends where you get your wings, but if they're good, they're probably not a bad price. So
Right.
we're gonna find out. One thing is they are not hot. They, just from feeling them, they're kind of cold, but
I wouldn't say cold, but definitely not like super warm,
Yeah.
as if they were just cooked.
yeah.
So that's going to take a couple of points off for me personally, because nobody wants cold wings.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a close-up of that wing. Look at how yummy that looks.
Yeah.
Garlic parmesan, like literal parmesan on
Yep.
there. All right, you ready to
All right,
try
let's give it a whirl. Let's make like our friends Rhett and Link over at Good Mythical Morning. Let's dink it and sink it.
Gotta sink it into some ranch or blue cheese.
It's a good wing. I can't complain about the flavor. The sauce is good. The meat is good. It's just not as hot as I would like it to be.
Yeah, it's like a
Not
little bit.
spice-wise, temperature-wise.
It's a little bit warmer than room temperature, I would say.
Pretty good though. Real quick, what would you give the garlic parm wing out of 10?
I would say like a solid 7. They're not super flavorful. They're just enough.
They're not super big or meaty either.
Yeah, that was the other thing I was
that
gonna
was
say.
that was a minus for me as well. So I'm gonna go a solid 6.5.
Okay.
Good, not great. Maybe if we come back at a later date during Food and Wine, maybe it'll be warm and it'll go up another point and a half for me. But the size and the price takes it down from a 10, and then the warmth, I would say, brings it down to a 6.5 for me.
Okay.
But good, solid wing. And now I'm really scared because I don't do buffalo sauce, and Danny's forcing me to eat it on camera.
Forcing.
So, wish me luck.
All right, so the next wing we are going to be trying is going to be the buffalo.
Pretty nice red buffalo color. You know, the typical color that looks like hot death.
They call that original death.
Okay. That's fair.
So we're gonna go ahead and give it a try. Let's dink it.
Wish me luck.
Dink it.
Dink it.
Then we
sink it in the buffalo, in the blue cheese.
in the ranch.
Blue cheese. And then go. Okay, that's not that bad. This is pretty mild buffalo as far as buffalo goes.
That's what I was gonna say.
So if I can eat it, you can eat it.
It's a Disney style buffalo sauce.
It's actually got good flavor. Mixed in with the blue cheese. It's really, really good. First thoughts, out of 10, what would you say?
I would give these. I guess I would have to say I would give these an 8 because these have a better flavor than the garlic parmesan. If you're looking for something that's a little bit more unique in terms of flavor, because the thing is, you don't come to Disney just to get decent wings. You want to try something different at Food and Wine. And the buffalo actually has a very rounded out flavor, so it's really good. It's not just spice.
Yeah.
It's really good. Again, not being super hot, and then also not being super big, I would still give it like an 8.
Yeah.
But overall, I like the buffalo. What about you?
The buffalo flavor is usually not my favorite, but this is actually pretty good. And now, I don't know if I would like it without the blue cheese, but the buffalo blue cheese combo is actually pretty solid. My wing was a little bit warmer than my garlic parm wing.
Okay.
I don't know if they came out at different times or, whatever, but I would give this a 7. I would go a little bit higher than the 6.5 because, like I said, it was temperature hotter. Spice-wise, it wasn't nearly as hot as I would be. I was very, fully prepared to give this a 3 because I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
But I'm not dying. Here I am. I'm still alive, and we're eating wings at Disney.
Yeah.
So, solid 7 from me, 6.5 from Danny. Price point could be a little bit lower for 5 small wings.
Yeah.
But overall, not a bad experience.
I will say that this is some place that you definitely should swing into. It's a little bit cooler in here, so you can cool down
Get that
when it's
AC.
hotter. And you can sit down, try some food. So I do think this is a great booth to visit. And I'm actually excited for in the future when we try some of the beers because they have some really unique beers here as well. And I just always think that this place, this booth specifically, is great because you kind of get a little break from the heat. So I would say it's a must hit. What about you?
Yeah, for sure. Now we're going to head out of the EPCOT Experience building. We're going to head over to World Showcase, and we're going to head to our third booth of the day, and you'll see what it is up next.
So we are at our third booth now. It is very hot. I've got my water, staying hydrated, key to being at Disney in July. So we are in Mexico. So we're going to try the chilaquiles con chorizo. I'm so excited about this. It's crispy corn tortillas tossed in salsa verde and Monterey Jack, topped with crema mexicana, queso cojita, pickled onions, and ground chorizo. And we are looking to try the other stuff, but just so that we can hit some more booths, we're just going to start with the chorizo today. We're so excited. Usually the Mexico booth has the longest line, and we're always like, we'll come back to Mexico because that line's really long. And then we're full by the time we get back over here. We never try it, so we had to stop with this line not being long at all. So let's try some chilaquiles.
All right, so we got our chilaquiles. We're very excited. This is one of the things that we talked about on the show that we really, really wanted to try. That sounded really, really good. And when in World Showcase and Mexico is staring you in the face, you gotta go get some Mexican food.
And now it's watching us as we try its food.
It is,
from
it's right behind us, right there.
In my experience, all of the food that you get in Mexico here in EPCOT is always really authentic and delicious.
For sure.
So that's why we have a lot of confidence in trying the Mexican food at EPCOT Food and Wine.
Absolutely. Now, this looks amazing. I love chorizo, and this has a pretty hefty portion of chorizo sitting right on top of it, and I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
Now, explain to the people what chilaquiles are.
So I would almost need like the description. It's cut up corn tortilla mixed with cheeses and sauces.
And they kind of get a little bit soggy, so you can kind of cut it and eat through it. It's almost like a lasagna.
Yeah, a lot of times when I was in San Antonio, I used to like to get the chilaquiles and egg tacos.
Ooh, that sounds good.
And those were so good. So every place makes it a little bit different, but this is almost, the way that they're serving it is almost like a lasagna.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to give this a try. You
Me
ready?
too. I got my fork. She's got her fork. Let's dig in. It's easy to cut through. That's good. Gonna make sure I get a good chunk of chorizo here with my first bite.
Yeah.
Because you definitely need that for sure. It's a little bit messy.
So we actually have a knife
Danny's ruining
too.
my bite here.
Sorry.
Okay. All right, there we go. I got a good one. All right, sink it, sink it. There's a lot going on there. There's some salty. There's some spice. I'm assuming that's from the chorizo or the salsa verde.
Yeah, there's a lot of seasoning.
Yes, a lot of seasoning.
So
there's a lot. It's like an explosion, a Mexican explosion in your mouth.
They also have these pickled onions on the top, which they have in a lot of their foods over at the Mexican Pavilion, and it's always super good. So let's get another bite.
Yeah, no, that first bite was really, really good.
If you need a knife, there's a knife.
I'm looking forward to bite number 2 here.
It's a pretty dense dish.
It is. Definitely get a fork and a knife for sure. Go ahead and take yours. I'm gonna try to cut this. It's a little tough. Second bite, just as good?
Just as good. I will say that there is part of it that's a little bit dry at the bottom. So it does taste a little bit like it may have been sitting there for a while.
Okay. See, I didn't get that at all.
See, so try right there. Try that little piece right there.
Oh yeah, you can feel it.
So it tastes like it was before it was, it had all the seasoning and flavors and maybe cheese, sauces, salsas in it, and then it kind of dried a little bit. But overall, this is a
quick
great,
thoughts, 1 out of 10, like we've been doing everything so far.
I mean, with Mexican food, like, there's not a whole lot of great Mexican food here in Orlando, in my opinion.
Except for Chuy's.
Except for
Not
Chuy's.
a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
Yet.
Please sponsor us. We love you. But this, I would give it a 9 out of 10. I would definitely eat this again. How about yourself?
I would wholeheartedly agree with you. This is definitely the best dish we've had so far today, I
Yeah.
think. It edges out the corned beef corner out by a few points.
Oh yeah, so much better.
And definitely better than the wings, for sure. I would definitely give this a solid 9 as well. We're going to agree there.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to eating the rest of the dish. And you guys should definitely come down right at the entrance from Future World into World Showcase. Mexico's right there. You can't miss it. Stop and get these chilaquiles.
Yeah. One thing that I wanted to let you guys know that we kind of talked about in between the previous dish and now, is that we think we're probably going to stay closer to the entrance to World Showcase right now because it is extremely hot today.
Yeah. Florida is raging.
Like literally, we just saw the firefighters with the stretcher. So usually when heat like that, that's usually because somebody's really overheated.
A heat stroke.
Yeah, and
Scary stuff.
Yeah, so I think next time we'll have like our towels with us. We left them at home on accident, so we're gonna come a little bit more prepared to stay cool because now that we're in the peak of summer, you definitely need to plan accordingly. So I think today we are gonna stay in the booths over in this area. We're not gonna circle World Showcase. But I think that advice we're giving ourselves and we would give you guys is in the heat of the summer, if you're going to come to EPCOT at night, that's really good because you can walk around and not be in the heat.
Right.
And I think we're going to take that advice ourselves today.
I think so too. As we said at the beginning of the video, Food and Wine goes on for another 4 months.
Yeah.
And so we're not going to try to cram everything in today. We're just going to kind of stay by the entrance here and do a few booths. And that'll be our video for today, but we got plenty more content coming your way from Food and Wine 2021. Right up until November. We're gonna come at night. We're gonna come when it's cooler out. And we're gonna try a bunch of different things that we probably wouldn't try today. So we're looking forward to that. But right now, chilaquiles, solid choice.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed that. And we're gonna enjoy the rest of it as soon as I hit this power button right here.
And we are not done yet today, so stay tuned.
Stick around.
It looks like we've got a princess sighting here at EPCOT today. And of course, the real heroes. So this is going to be our last booth of the day for today. It is a lot hotter than we anticipated today, so since Food and Wine is going to be open for so long, I think we're going to head home and jump in the pool. We have a pool at our apartment complex, so it seems like a pretty good day to take advantage of that because we haven't in a while.
It's really hot.
But before we jump in the pool, what we're going to do is visit Hawaii. Hawaii sounds awesome right now. And the two things that we've decided to try, even though everything looks amazing, we're going to go ahead and try the two in the middle. We're going to be doing the teriyaki glazed Spam hash with potatoes, peppers, onions, and spicy mayo. We have had this in the past and it's always been delicious. Like, it was a surprise at how good this was. And I know that we've talked about it before, so we're going to see if it's just as good this time. The other one we're going to try is the tuna poke, and that has eel sauce, spicy mayo, and crispy shrimp chips, which I don't know what those are, but sign me up.
As sushi aficionados, I absolutely love anything with tuna, eel sauce, and spicy mayo.
Yeah, sign us up.
Yeah.
And if we weren't trying everything and telling you guys about it, we might get 2 of those tuna pokies because that sounds amazing. But to mix it up a little bit today, we're going to try that Spam hash, which we know has always been delicious, the tuna poke, and I think the other 2 we're going to go ahead and wait to try at a later date and then try to cool down.
All right, so we got our items from the Hawaii booth. As Danny said, we were going to get the teriyaki glazed Spam hash and the tuna poke. Now, Spam hash, at first glance, sounds kind of nasty,
and
doesn't
kind
it?
of at first look doesn't look
Yeah,
that
I want
great.
to show the people. Doesn't look great. However, we did have this last year, and we know it's actually really good.
It was a standout at the Food and Wine that we didn't expect to be as good as it was.
Exactly. The Spam mixed with the potatoes and the peppers and onions and the spicy mayo just makes for a great sweet and spicy taste, almost.
Yeah.
Kind of mixed together. So we were really happy with this dish last year, and we're really happy to see it return to the Hawaii booth this year for Food and Wine. One thing we did want to note, though, is that Hawaii's booth actually did move. It used to be over across from the Starbucks over here, over by the Journey to Imagination Pavilion.
Over where the new bathrooms are.
Exactly, and now Hawaii, if you're walking from Future World to World Showcase and you're looking directly across at America, it's right to your left, over by Disney Traders, the store. That's right there, right when you walk into World Showcase. So that's where Hawaii is now. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna try the Spam hash, and we're gonna try the tuna poke, because we're huge sushi people, and we're gonna give that a whirl right now. So
Here's
let's
a look at the tuna poke too.
Yeah, there it is. Let's grab our forks. Here's one for you.
Thank you.
And here's one for me. And let's go with the Spam hash first because we've had that before. So let's dig in. Let's get a little bit of everything. We get a potato and some spicy mayo and some Spam and some onions.
So I think I got everything.
I think I got everything too here. There's one more little dab here. Dink it. Sink it. Just as good as I remember. Spicy mayo is spectacular. It's like the best sushi condiment by far, with eel sauce being a very close second.
It's good on everything.
But spicy mayo is excellent on everything, including potatoes, Spam, and onions.
Yeah.
So solid 9.5 out of 10 from me. This was, as Danny said, talking with my mouth full here. As Danny said last year, it was a standout dish. And once again, it kicks ass.
Yeah, so I think everything here in this dish is delicious. If you're not a big fan of potatoes or ham, though, then you may not like it. But
Right.
if you like both of those things, it's a must try. So I would definitely agree, 9.5.
For sure. I'm going to take another bite before we move this out of the way, because it's that good. All right. Here's one item I was really, really looking forward to trying, because I love red tuna. Red tuna is my favorite, or second favorite sushi next to salmon, sashimi.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to trying this. Inside the poke bowl, we got eel sauce, spicy mayo, and crispy shrimp chips. Now, I don't believe the shrimp chips are inside the poke. They're actually on the outside. So we've got some funky looking chip things with our poke here on the giant plate that they gave us here, and the poke bowl is right here inside. So what I think we should do, and we can hear some thunder in the background here, so we're going to try to get this done as quick as possible. But we're going to get some poke and some spicy mayo and such out of the bowl here. Put it on.
Ooh, look at that, guys.
Ooh, yeah. I'm going to put it on one of the chips.
I got a little bit of a chip.
Right in here. Bada bing, bada boom. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? All right, we're going to give that a whirl. It's probably going to break apart, but we'll see. There's some good crunch to that. And the tuna tastes really good.
So I do have to say that this is, if you like food that tastes really fresh, especially on a hot day, this is a awesome option. The fish tastes fresh. All of the seasonings, everything that's in it gives it a good crunch. And so on top of the chip, you cannot go wrong for that.
And so the poke bowl was $7. And frankly, the amount of tuna that's in this, it doesn't look like a lot at first, but when you put your fork in there, it's thick all the way to the bottom.
Yeah.
The amount of tuna that's in there for $7 is actually a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
And so, bang for your buck, this poke bowl might be one of the best things we've had so far.
I would give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
I do think that it's not my favorite thing to eat at the festival, but it's definitely up there, and that's the only reason that I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would say a pretty solid 9 here, mostly because the chip things are kind of weird. They almost taste like cardboard rice cakes,
A little bit,
kind
yeah.
of. Excuse me. And they're not bad, but not great either, and it definitely doesn't make the dish for sure. So a solid 9 from me, 9.5 from you said?
I said a 9.
A 9.
9 across the board.
The 9 and 9. We agree again.
Yeah.
Wow. It's almost like we like each other or something.
It's something like that.
So we're going to enjoy the rest of this before that thunder rolls through. Let me point it over so you guys can see what we're talking about. Look at them skies coming in.
Yeah.
That is scary stuff. So we're going to try to get this poke in our bellies and the Spam hash in our bellies before we get dumped on by the rain coming over the horizon here over the American Pavilion.
So we are on our way out after our first day at Food and Wine Festival for 2021. We're getting out just in time. I don't know if you guys heard that earlier, but there's thunder coming through.
There's a rumbly in the sky behind our camera right now.
And Thor is making his appearance.
Oh, he sure is. I've already seen a couple Thunderbolts from Mjolnir.
Yes, and I think for our first day we got to try some great stuff. We didn't actually get super far today because it was just so hot outside, so we didn't end up going super far. But what we did try, everything was great. What was your favorite thing today?
Honestly, I think the poke bowl might have been my favorite thing today. I really love tuna, and there was a ton of it, but I'd say maybe the chilaquiles are probably the second for me.
I would say that chilaquiles were my favorite for today, and we didn't try too much, but I would definitely say that the chilaquiles were probably my favorite thing that I tried today.
Yeah, for sure. Now we're going to come back a bunch more times before the festival ends in November. We got 4 more months of food to try.
Thank goodness.
And different times of the day and different temperatures. We're really looking forward to seeing what it's like to spend a day here at EPCOT doing food and wine in all those different environments.
Yeah.
So we're going to get out of here before this thunderstorm comes rolling through and we get dumped on before we go back to the parking lot. But thank you guys for joining us here at EPCOT for day 1 of our visits to the 2021 EPCOT Food and Wine Festival.
Yeah, and if you take a listen to our episode that we did last week, we actually went over everything that they have here at the festival.
So far. And then there's some more stuff that comes October 1st.
So let us know exactly what you guys want to try, what you want to see, what you want to know if it was good, bad, or is a must-have. So check that out. You can find that anywhere you find your podcast. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to us here on YouTube and also on Facebook. We're going to be covering everything as the 50th anniversary starts happening. We'll be there for even, hopefully, the last day of Happily Ever After, which was just
September
announced.
29th, her birthday.
Yeah, my 35th birthday. So that might be what we end up doing on my 35th birthday. But make sure that you're subscribed to everything so you don't miss a single theme park moment. And until next time,
We'll see you around the parks.